welcome to another episode of Talking to Myself. I'm your host, Jake Letizia, and this is the podcast where I look into a camera and I talk to myself. How's it going? How you doing? How are things? Hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing fine. Hope you're feeling good. I hope whatever's going on with you, you're happy. Hope you're happy, man. I do. I hope anybody who's listening to this is happy. And if you're not, that's okay. If you're sad as shit, I'm sorry to hear it. And I hope you feel fucking better soon. I hope you pull yourself out of that sadness and feel not so goddamn shitty. I really do. It's a gloomy day behind me. If you're watching the podcast, you can see it's a gloomy day, which is good for me because gloomy days are good for the podcast, especially for the video, because then I don't have to worry about the goddamn window behind me. The window behind me, I like the look of it, but at the same time, when it's a bright day, it's hard to control the light when I'm editing these podcasts, so I get fucking annoyed with it. But when it's a nice, gloomy, overcast day, I don't got to worry about shit. You know, you can still see through the window, but it's dark enough where it's never overexposed. It's fine. It's chill. This is how I like it, man. I like a nice gloomy day for a podcast, but in general, I like a gloomy day. That might make me strange, but I do. I prefer an overcast, drizzly day to a bright, shining, wonderful one. I don't know why. You know why? I like any weather that makes it so that there's a minimal amount of people around. And I guess that makes sense with what I was saying last week, because last week I was talking about looking around at how many people are out and about now and thinking to myself, you know, it's a combination of summer and things coming back from the pandemic and people feeling like finally they can be outside and have a good time. For the first time in who the fuck knows how long, for the first time in a year and a half or 2 years now, people are feeling safe and comfortable having fun outside with other people, right? It's that combined with the summer that makes me see people and go, you know, maybe COVID could have done a little more damage. I said that last week, you know, I'm joking, of course. I don't want more people to be dead, but at the same time, I don't want people to be around me. So I think that's why I like a gloomy day, because it makes stupid people go, it's so ugly out. Let's just stay inside. And you're like, hell yeah, dude. You know those motherfuckers are not going to be outside. You know irritating people won't be in the park on a gloomy day. It'll just be normal, mildly depressed people who are like, I know it's a gloomy day, but I need to get some air. I'd rather be around those people. I'd rather be around people who are like, I know it might rain, but I don't mind the rain. I'll go sit in the park. That's a person I like. That's when I should try and socialize with people, when it's fucking shitty out. Because then I'll meet other people who are weird like me who like it when it's shitty out. It's becoming a recurring thing on this podcast. Just every summer, I complain about people outside during the summer. It's becoming its own segment on this fucking podcast. I feel repetitive every time I talk about it, but every year I fucking feel a new hatred for it, so it feels new to me to talk about. But dude, I was at the park the other day, and what the fuck is going on? I was at the park and I might as well have been at the beach. I don't know if that's normal park behavior. The people I was with, I was asking, is it normal for people to sunbathe in the middle of Central Park and fucking have beach balls with them? So many people were setting volleyballs to each other on the grass at Central Park. Why? There's a volleyball court at Central Park. I didn't know that. That's fine, man. That's a fucking recreational activity. Get your exercise on, whatever. But the amount of dudes I saw in swim trunks at Central Park trying to get their tan on, it was disturbing to me. women in bathing suits and men in bathing suits, half naked in the park. I don't want to see it, dude. The park isn't for that, dude. The park is for taking your dog for a walk, playing catch with your kid, or drinking a beer and having some light conversation. It's not for me to see your pale body turn tan. And there's nothing wrong with sunbathing. There's nothing wrong with being in a bathing suit. It's just that's what you do when there's sand around, man. When there's the ocean in front of you and sand fucking up your feet, that's what you're doing. That's when you get the sunbathe. You don't do it in the middle of grass where other people are trying to fucking eat lunch. Okay? If there's not a body of water and you have swim trunks on, you've made a mistake. It was making me so mad. I don't know why. It was fucking pissing me off. You know why? Because then the sun went away and they all fucking left. So they were just there. If I fucking listen, man. I don't like people who sunbathe. If you sunbathe, you fucking suck. And I know there are probably people who I love and like who sunbathe, but people who sunbathe not at the beach, even at the beach, if you go to the beach just to sunbathe, fuck you. You suck. There's no way we're going to have a conversation where I'm enjoying myself. It's just not going to happen. If you go, I got to go to the beach so that I can get my tan on, what are you? I hate you and the priorities that you decide are your priorities. If I go to the beach, I'm going to swim and I'm going to lay out for a little bit, sure, maybe read a book like a fucking nerd, and then I'm going to go get some food. I'm going to get pizza from whatever pizza place is close, or I'm going to get some seafood. That's what I'm going to do. I go to the beach because I'm like, oh, it'll be a nice way to spend some time with some friends. If you are like, oh, I got to hit the beach to become not pale for the summer, fuck you. Anyway, I'm hungover and irritated. I think I'm hungover. Before the podcast started, I'm feeling kind of groggy and a little I don't know, my head's a little cloudy, and I was like, am I hungover? And now in this moment, as I'm shouting at people who sunbathe, I realize, yeah, I'm a little hungover. I'm a little hungover and cranky. But it is what it is, man. Fuck you. It's still true. If I wasn't hungover right now and I was less cranky, I'd be saying fuck you nicer. No, I'd probably be saying it in the same way. I just don't get it. I don't get it. Why are you so concerned with your tan? I don't get it. Maybe it comes from a good place. It comes from a person wanting to manage their it comes from a person wanting to take care of their body, I guess, look a certain way. I don't know. This is coming from a guy who just started using moisturizer. I can't even say it. This is from a guy who used moisturizer so little in his life that he can't even say it properly on a podcast in this moment. This is coming from a guy who just started using moisturizer. That's what I wanted to say. So, who knows? The sunbather probably is good with their skin, so they got that on me. So good for them. I don't like them. Fuck them. I bet you it's a person I don't like, but at the same time, they're better with their skin than I am for sure. Or maybe they're not. Maybe they're destroying their skin by sunbathing constantly. Who knows? Anyway, I don't know. Do what you feel, man. If you like to sunbathe, good for you, dude. I don't know. I wish things didn't bother me like they do, but they do. I wish that I went to the park and I saw people sunbathing and having a good time, and I just was like, yeah, man, that's great. But I wasn't. I was mad. I wish I didn't get mad at people having a wonderful time. But sometimes I do if the wonderful time they're having is being done in a way that doesn't make sense to me. I'm such a fucking cunt. Anyway, What was I talking about? Moisturizer? What the fuck am I talking about? Moisturizer. Dude, I'm starting to, maybe it's getting older. I'm starting to do things where I'm like, maybe I should maintain my face and body a little bit, you know? Maybe I should try and like make it so that, you know, I'm not damaging my whole body long term by not doing something. Do you understand what I'm saying? I don't know. I feel like people, and maybe it's just getting older in general. You're like, I got to build some routines that'll keep me from perishing. I don't know. Or maybe it's just living long enough to be like, I'm finally getting around to these certain things where here, an example, right? Right now, I've been not washing my hair as much because I heard you're not supposed to do that. I'm at a stage in life where all the things that people are like, this is actually good for your skin or this is actually good for your hair. I'm starting to be like, hey, I heard that 90 million times as I've gotten older. Might as well try it finally. That's how things work for me. I got to hear it 1,500 times for me to finally be like, oh yeah, maybe I'll do that. So I was talking to friends of mine who were talking about how often they wash their hair, and I was reading into it, and it was like, yeah, apparently it's bad for your hair to shampoo it every day, which is what I do. Every time I take a shower, I shampoo my hair. So recently, I've been shampooing it less, washing my head still, but shampooing it less. And I gotta say, I don't know what the right and wrong thing to do is. The thing that bothers me about skin care or hair care or whatever the fuck care shit that you do to your body is whenever you read about it, it gets confusing, and then it gets annoying and confusing because they start to go, it's specific and different for everybody. If it's specific and different for everybody, then why am I reading your article? Because your article is saying all the different ways it could be for you, and then it's saying, but you find out what's best for you. I'm reading the article because I don't know what's best for me. I'm looking for an answer from you, you fuck. I was reading it because the thing is like, oh, you're not supposed to shampoo your hair every day because apparently it's bad for your hair. It dries your hair out and it can damage it and something else that I read. So, but then it says, but some people might need to shampoo their hair every day because the natural oils in their hair is too much and too greasy and you'll look gross. It didn't say that, but that's what it was saying, you know? It didn't say you'll look gross, but it was saying some people's natural hair needs to be washed every day, which means some people naturally are fucking gross, I guess. But then it said other people, their natural oils are very good and it's very healing, and blah, 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 and it makes your hair look nice and blah, blah, blah. And it was like some people only need to shampoo their hair once a week. And I was like, cool, is that me? And then the article's like, I don't know, is it? The article's like, some people only need to shampoo their hair once a week. Some people need to shampoo their hair every day. A lot of people are in between. It's all based on how greasy and oily your hair gets and how quickly that becomes a buildup where you need to shampoo it. And I was like, I don't know there's no oilometer on the side of my fucking head letting me know like, yeah, dude, you're too greasy right now. If I'm just doing it by eye, like, how do I know? Is it just by eye? Is it just by me looking in the mirror going, you look fucking disgusting? Because sometimes I look in the mirror and I go, you look fine. And then somebody I know is like, yo, you look bad. You got to fix your shit up. Do I go based off that? Do I get a fucking chaperone, a friend, to be honest with me and tell me, yo, your hair's too greasy. You look like an Italian mobster, you dumb fuck. Like, I don't understand how am I supposed to know, dude? I don't know. It's fucking everything that's managing your body. Nutrition. Like, whenever I look into nutrition shit, it's always like, everyone's body's different. Some people, they eat a corner of a fucking piece of crust on a pizza and they gain 3 pounds. Some people eat 4 slices and it's fine as long as you run the next day. What am I, dude? I guess I'm supposed to just know based on how things have happened in my life, you know? I guess I'm supposed to just realize based on the pizza I've eaten whether or not I can eat a corner of a crust or 3 slices and be okay. I don't know, man. I'm not gonna. I don't know. I don't know what the fuck I'm saying. I gotta stop drinking. That's the first self care thing I need to do. Don't drink. Don't drink anymore. Oh man, I'm starting to get old enough where the hangovers are unspecifically damaging your brain. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm starting to get to the point where I have a hangover, but I'm kind of not sure. But as I'm talking and as I'm experiencing life the next day, I realize like, nah, this is a stealth hangover. I feel fucked up. I just am not realizing it for whatever reason. And I didn't drink that much. I drank like 5 gin and tonics starting at 5 o'clock yesterday, right? 5 o'clock to like 9 o'clock I drank. That's not, I get, is that a lot? I don't fucking know. That's my problem too. I don't know how much alcohol is a lot of alcohol. I guess it all goes into the same thing. I don't know what's up with me. You know what I'm saying? I don't know when my hair's greasy. I don't know how much alcohol is too much. I don't know what is a healthy amount of food for me to eat. I don't know the basics of human maintenance. You know, I don't know the basics of maintaining a healthy, happy life. I don't know. Everything I do is unspecific. Also, I don't know how to make drinks. That's a problem too. I drank gin and tonics, which I never do, and I was making them myself, and that's always a bad move because I think I put too much gin in it. But I don't know, how much are you supposed to put? If I have a cup that's fucking normal size cup, I put this much gin in. And if there's ice, then it's this much gin. Is that too much? Maybe that's too much. I don't fucking know. I put enough alcohol in where you can barely taste it, but you still taste it a little bit. That's how much I put in. That to me, that's what I'm like, oh, this cocktail is good. I can barely taste the alcohol, but I can kind of taste it. That's what you want. That's the point of drinking a cocktail, is to soften the blow of the liquor, right? I should just ask a friend of mine. My friend of mine makes cocktails. I should ask him. I should make a drink in front of him and go, "Is this fucked?" And if he's like, "Yes," then I'll go, "Okay, I'm gonna adjust what I do." That's a fucking power move, by the way, to learn how to make cocktails. I'll never do it. I'll never do it. I'll never do it. There are some things that I see people do and I admire that they know how to do it. And I'm like, damn, that must be great on a date. That must like impress certain people. But I look at it and go, that kind of impresses me, but I'll never do it. Friends of mine like are good at cooking. I've watched them cook. I'm like, damn, you like know things, man. You know how to fucking season things. You know how to cook. And I watch them do it and I'm like, I'm never gonna do it. I make no effort towards learning how to become a better cook. I just watch them go, damn, that'd be sick to know how to do. And then I order a pizza, dude. I'm not. Nah, cooking. I might learn. I'm gonna learn. That's something I want to get better at. I want to actually understand cooking. To me, a good cook is somebody who can season things without a recipe, right? Who can add and subtract shit on the fly based on how they know things taste. That's a fucking real cook to me. If you're at that point, you're probably making something good. And that's why that kid's good at cocktails. He just freestyles them. If you can freestyle food, if you can make something from your imagination that is good, you're good at the thing. If you can just think of like tastes and put together a meal or make a cocktail, you're a good chef and what is it, mixologist? That's the thing too. I just don't want to be. I don't want to. That's not a name I like. You know. I don't want to learn how to do a thing where you end up being called a name that fucking sucks. I like to be called a chef. A chef sounds nice. It sounds professional. It sounds clean. Mixologist sounds like you're shaking too much shit. Mixologist sounds like you're shaking something and you're rattling ice around and bothering a patron. That's what it sounds like to me. It sounds like someone far off in the distance is calling you a douche. That's what it sounds like when I hear mixologist. I don't want to be that. Right? If I think of chef, I think of Anthony Bourdain and Guy Fieri. Wildly different people, but both legends. You know what I'm talking about? Legends in their own right. Do you know what I'm talking about? Because I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. Anyway, I don't know how greasy my hair is. Maybe it looks very greasy right now. I would have no idea. I think it's good. I think 3 days is what I'm figuring out. 3 days of not washing my hair with shampoo, and then the fourth day I wash it. I think that's what's working. I think that's what's working. Who knows? I don't know. It's also just a good way to not buy. I feel like these articles are deceiving because really, to me, what it is like, oh yeah, don't wash your hair and then you don't need to buy gel, really. I feel like gel is for people who wash their hair every day and they need some sort of unnatural grease to fucking style their hair. But if you don't shampoo your hair, you got your natural grease to fucking fix up your hair. But when I was a kid, that was disgusting. If you had grease in your hair, you were a greasy fuck. You were disgusting and dirty. But now I'm learning in my older age, nah, you want a little bit of greasy. You want to be a little greasy. I thought that was bullshit. Until I asked a friend of mine who is very obsessed with their hair, hey, how often do you shampoo your hair? And she was like, oh, like once a week. And I was like, what the fuck? What the fuck? And she puts shit in her hair. So she uses the natural grease of her fucking head, and then she also puts other shit in their hair. I don't know, man. I don't know. All of it just seems annoying. Just hang out. Just be you. I don't know. I don't like when people act like you like the shit that they do, or like that you need the stuff that they do. Every woman I've ever dated, I've thought was attractive in a sweatshirt and no makeup. Every single one. And women will get mad at you when you say that. Because I've said that to people, and women have gotten, not every woman, of course, I'm not fucking speaking in that wide of generalizations, but there will be women who get pissed. Like, yeah, fucking right, dude. Yeah, right. And I'm like, you're mad at me because of the effort you put in, dude. Don't get mad at me for how I feel. That's true. I've never, ever looked at a person I was dating and thought, oh my God, you need to put some makeup on. Never, dude. I often fuck in the morning. Do you understand what I'm saying? Which is when some women perceive themselves to look the ugliest. And guess what? I always am trying to fuck in the morning. I'm always waking up going, oh, she's very cute, wanting to do something. Okay? Which is proof positive that I'm not fucking lying, dude. I will fuck someone in their pajamas. That's hot. That's fucking... Someone in their pajamas is attractive. Okay? And when I say that, people think I'm saying like, oh, a woman looks better like that. She just looks... I think women look good in makeup and without makeup. All right? It's not like when a woman's in makeup, I'm like, what the fuck? But the natural thing is fine. I don't know. You're doing that for you. People are doing that for them. My roommate who loved her hair, she does that because she loves her hair. Do you understand what I'm saying? Nobody else is... I mean, some people are like, damn, dude, your hair looks cool, but nobody's deciding whether or not they like her or are attracted to her based solely on the cut. Do you understand? Although that's not even true what I'm saying. Well, that is true. I don't know. Well, with this person specifically, she started growing out her hair more and more dudes were attracted to her. But that's just, that's just heteronormative type stuff. That's just men see longer hair and they're like, oh, are you... Dude, that's crazy. Dude, it's crazy how short hair, it means someone is gay to everybody. I thought that was like a thing that straight people thought as like a stereotype. I thought stereotypically straight people thought, oh, if you have short hair, you're gay. But then as I got older, like when I went to college, I was around more gay people, started having more gay friends, and you start to realize like, oh no, like like especially with this friend of mine, all the gay people she runs into assume she's gay or used to assume she was gay because of her fucking hair. And then it's funny because stuff like that brings you together because you're like, oh, we're all fucking assholes. Like we're all dumb fucks feeding into a stereotype. You know? We're all a part of this. Anyway, I don't know. I think it's fine. You don't need... I like a sweatshirt, man. I like a sweatshirt. And the way I dress should be proof that I'm not fucking lying. I don't dress nice at all, dude. I dress in the most mundane bullshit. You know? I don't know. I just think that if you... I don't know. I think someone can look stylish as fuck and they definitely can have a style to them and look a certain way with makeup and the way they dress and everything like that. Like I've been attracted to people who have a style to them, but I've never thought to myself, oh, if they were dressed differently, I'd be like, nah, bro. I mean, I guess someone can dress in a way that attracts your eye, that makes you look at them. But I don't know. I like when people are like fashionistas. I like that because then that's a thing. That's part of your personality. That's part of like how you express yourself. I like that. But when somebody's like trying to dress to like look, I don't know. I don't even know what the fuck I'm saying. Maybe I'm just saying when people dress for themselves, I like it. When people dress for other people, I don't like it. That's probably the real core of the thing. If somebody says to me, oh, the reason why I wear makeup and get dressed up is because I want to attract men, that is, I don't know, that bums me out for some reason. But if somebody just is dressing a certain way because they like how they look when they dress like that, or they feel confident when they're dressed like that, I like that. That's I don't know, that shows you a person who... When a person is dressing a certain way for themselves, you get to understand something about them through the way they dress. That's interesting. When somebody is dressing for other people, you see something about that person that's very sad. Does that make sense? I don't know. The timer went out. The camera might be out. Who knows? If you're watching and the camera's out, I apologize. But that's the end of the first part. I'll see you in the next part. Hey, what's up? I'm back. How you doing? Yeah, dude. My pants are ripped. The pants I'm currently wearing are ripped as fuck. I don't know if I've said this on the podcast before, but I get pissed when pants get ripped. I don't know why. For some reason, when I buy a pair of pants, in my brain, I think this is my whole life now, right? These pants will last me till I die. I don't know why I think that about pants in particular, but I do. Whenever I buy a pair of pants, I think this will last me for the rest of my life. This is a permanent pair of pants forever now. And then when they rip, I feel like personally attacked. I feel like, what the fuck, dude? What the fuck? I feel like the store owes me money. Hey, man. But if a shirt rips, if a sock rips, I go, it doesn't fucking matter. You buy socks in such a bulk amount that I expect all of them to break in half the moment you put them on. But when you buy a pair of pants, it's like $50. That should last a while, right? I buy games for $60, $70. I never have to buy them ever again. I buy a pair of pants for $60, $70. They rip in a year, dude? What? Not even, well, more than that. Even if I've had these jeans for years now, they probably ripped 2 years in, and I was fucking pissed. And now they got other little rips, and like the pockets are kind of torn on the inside. Like yesterday, a hole ripped into one of the pockets. In the other pockets, like there's already a hole. One of the pockets is already hanging. Like there's a hole in front of the pocket. If that makes sense. Like if I put stuff in the pocket at the wrong angle, they fall to the bottom of they fall to my ankles. They fall through the pants down to my ankles onto the ground. And now the other pocket, the left pocket, now also has a rip in it. And at that point, I was like, I guess I need to get new jeans. And then today, this morning, I looked at my ass and there was a tiny rip in the ass. And I was like, damn, dude, what the fuck? And I was pissed. Because pants should last for life. They just should. They should last for life. I don't know why I believe that, but that's a belief I hold dear in my heart. Some people believe you shouldn't kill the other people. Some people believe it's right and just to, give charity and money to people. I believe that pants need to last you your whole life. That's just what I believe. It's part of my belief system. Anyway, okay, so a friend of mine that I used to live with, I was with them recently and they were asking me about my new roommate, and they were like, "Oh, how's that going?" I was like, "Oh, it's going great. He's awesome. I like him a lot. I lucked out." And then they were like, "How's the apartment?" I was like, "Oh, I'm getting it together. We're still kind of figuring out the living room because we just got a couch in and a TV, but we're still figuring out, like, there's still stuff. I don't know what to decorate with and stuff. I feel like we need to do more decorating, or we got to figure out like what it's going to look like." And then the person I used to live with, they look at me and they go, "Oh yeah, okay." And and they go, well, who's the alpha of the apartment?" And I was like, "What? What do you mean the alpha of the, what does that mean?" They said it like it was like that's a known thing. Like there's always an alpha of the apartment. And they said it like there's a clear definition of what an alpha is in an apartment. Like I'm supposed to hear who's the alpha of the apartment. I'm supposed to be like, "Oh, I know exactly what that means. Pff, I'm the alpha." What does that mean? I'm the alpha, dude, of the apartment. Does that mean that I'm like that my roommate comes home and I'm like, "Hey, listen, man, do the fucking dishes"? What does that mean? So then I go, "What does that mean?" And they go, "Oh, well, I feel like, like I was the alpha of our apartment because like I decided like how to decorate everything and set things up. Like I kind of figured out like how the apartment should look, and you kind of were like, 'Oh yeah, you can do whatever you want. You can like make it look however you want.'" So I was the alpha of the apartment. And in my head, I was like, you thought you were the alpha of the apartment because you decorated?" You were the alpha? I don't know. I don't think an alpha asks politely like, "Hey, is it cool if I hang this stuff up?" It's not like they were like, "Listen, fuckface, this is how I'm setting up the apartment." No, every time they wanted to put something up or do something, they asked me like, "Oh, is that chill? Is it cool if I do that? Is it cool?" And I was like, "Yeah, do whatever you want." I don't know how alpha asking for permission is. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. It's just it was a weird. It's the weirdest. Like, first of all, this is not a person who I would ever expect to think in terms of alpha and beta. Well, then that's what I was thinking. I was like, is there a beta of the apartment? Am I the beta? Was I the beta of the apartment in your brain? Because I was like, yeah, decorate however you want. I don't know. I don't know if they know how those words are traditionally used. Also, it's like I'm not a person. It's just funny. I'm not a person to ever even talk about alpha and beta. Like I don't really give a fuck about those things. Um, but you know, if we're gonna talk about those things, I don't think you understand what they are. I don't think. I think the definition of alpha is kind of lost on you. I think you might be confused. I think it might be a different. I think what you're thinking is like, oh well, who's the decorator of the apartment? Who's the interior designer of the apartment? So are interior designers like alpha as fuck? Is that what they think? Do they watch HGTV? Does she watch HGTV and think like, yo, this is some alpha shit right here? She sees renovations and she's like, damn, dude, that's some alpha fucking shit right there. Do you want crown molding? We're going to put crown molding in. Is that cool? Yeah, that's cool. Damn, dude. That fucking builder's alpha shit. I mean, builders, I guess, are alpha. I don't know, dude. This is going to be the layout of your home. Damn, that's so alpha, dude. You're going to put a rug in that room? Fuck. Anyway, so I guess neither of us are the alpha. Because me and my current roommate are like, I mean, we'll figure it out. That's what we're like. So I guess there's no alpha decorator. Fuck, man. I don't know why I think that's so funny. It's just so funny. Also, I don't know. I don't really think too much about alpha and beta or whatever the fuck, but I think I think it's pretty, at least in my experience, every person I've ever met who called themselves an alpha was not an alpha. You know? It's also a very un-alpha thing to be like, I'm an alpha. Right? I don't know. Every person I've ever met who was very concerned, and not that this person is that, they just happen to say alpha in a weird context, but I guess I'm talking about a separate thing now. If you meet somebody who says like I'm alpha, they're not. There's something broken inside of them, and they're beta as fuck. I don't know who in life. I rarely know who's the alpha, who's the beta, but I definitely know that the person who says they're an alpha loudly to other people, they're a beta for sure. That's one thing I know for certain. Anyway, damn. That I don't know. That just was very funny to me. It was just fucking funny as shit. Maybe not to people. I hope the people listening think it's fun. I mean, that was just, it blew my mind. It was the weirdest. I just did not expect that combination of words to be said. And it made me ask other people, like, do you know what she's talking about? And they're like, no. I've never heard that in my life. I've never heard it. I mean, that's why I love her, though, because she's weird. She's weird in that specific of a way, and it's great. Anyway, so, okay, I have two things that I definitely want to talk about. Well, I mean, definite. There's one thing I definitely want to talk about. But I guess I could talk about other things. For some reason, I was talking about Halloween yesterday with people. I don't know why. And we got on the subject of like, I think I was eating flaming hot Cheetos, and I was asking if they're hot, and then people were like, I mean, I guess. Not really, though. I guess that's how much of a wuss I am when it comes to spicy foods. But I'm not. I'll eat a spicy food, but at the same time, I was like, I don't know. And I had some of the flaming hot Cheetos. They were hot, bro. They were hot. They're hot enough where you need a drink in your hand. I think that's fair to say. They're hot enough where you don't want to just eat them without water. Right? And also chips in general, you don't want to eat without water. Okay? Otherwise, it's all going to build all around your teeth and your gums, and it's going to be disgusting. And you're going to be doing a lot of like hooking of the back of your gums with your finger and like pushing the congealed gush of the chips that have formulated around your teeth. You're going to be pushing that. You're going to be pulling that around your gum and like swallowing it. You don't want to do that shit, dude. You want to have water just wash the shit down. Anyway, not to be fucking gross. That was kind of gross. But I made a joke when I was eating the flaming hot Cheeto. I was like, ow, 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 ow. Like it was too hot. Like it hurt me. Anyway, but it made me think about all of a sudden in my head, I was like, oh shit, remember? I looked at everybody. I was like, do you remember when, like as a kid, you were like warned about razor blades and apples? And then everyone universally was like, yeah, I do remember that. That's so crazy. And then we were trying to figure out the origin of it, like why'd that happen? And it's definitely, I didn't look it up. We didn't bother to look, but we all came up with the conclusion immediately like, oh, it probably was like one news story. It was one news story. Because that's how it used to be. It used to be, I mean, now it's the same thing depending on who you talk to, but now that there's so many different articles and newspapers and way people get information, that people have their thing they pay attention to, and then like that's the thing they're worried about. But now everyone has a different thing to worry about. Back then, when I was a kid, there were a few fucking newspapers, and there were tabloids that everyone said shut the fuck up to, and then there were newspapers that everyone was like, these are legit, we got to worry about this. And definitely what happened was there was probably one story in the fucking New York Times or the New York Post or some fucking what now is a tabloid but used to be a legitimate thing. That's the fucking thing about news in general now. The internet forced every major publication into being a tabloid. I don't understand it. Everything is TMZ now. TMZ has a better track record of getting things right than some major publications at this point. If you look at TMZ, they've gotten some things wrong, but they probably have a fucking better batting average than the Washington Post. I could be wrong, but it feels like that. Okay? And I'm speaking mostly based off feeling and not facts at all on this podcast. So don't ever take what I'm saying seriously. But it definitely was one big article of like a woman who put, definitely an old lady, gotta be an old lady. That's a very old lady move to put razor blades in a fucking apple and make a kid eat it. Or think that a kid's gonna eat it. Because that's the other thing is like, why the fuck, what kid is eating an apple on Halloween? Anyway, I'll get to that. But it definitely was one major story where some kid fucking bit an apple and his teeth bled. And his whole mouth got fucked up. And then every parent in the Westchester County and every parent in New York and maybe the world even, I don't know where everyone was from at this party. I guess we're all from similar places, or the whole world knew about this fucking razor blades in the apple thing. But all I know is universally everyone at that party, that was a big enough story where everybody at that party had the experience of their mom being like, hey, don't take any fruits. If a woman hands you an apple, don't bite into it. Which is funny, your parent telling you that as a kid on Halloween. Hey, if you get fruit from one of the people you trick or treat from, don't eat it. It's like, hey mom, I was never gonna eat that fruit. 99.9% of kids, if they get an apple from a stranger, they're pissed it's not candy and they're throwing it. They're either throwing it at the person who gave it to them or they're fucking tossing it in the woods. If a little kid goes up to you and says trick or treat and you hand them a clementine, he's going to hold it in his hand and go, "What the fuck? What the fuck is wrong with you, dude?" Think about how psychotic of a person you have to be to give someone fruit on Halloween, to think that a kid wants fruit on Halloween. You'd almost have to be as psychotic as a person who put razor blades in the fucking apple. Those go together really well. A person who is psychotic enough to think it's a good idea to give kids fruit on Halloween is the same kind of crazy that then puts razor blades in that fucking fruit. Also, like I said, what kid is eating an apple on Halloween? It's it's only kids who are making good life decisions. Was that what it was? Was that what it was? Was this old lady like fucking? She was like, "I fucking hate nerds, dude. All these nerds eating apples. I'm gonna fuck up their mouth." It was a nerd purge, dude. She was trying to get all the fucking nerdy kids who were making good life decisions who were like, "Actually, I prefer the natural sugars of an apple." She was like, "Oh, fuck you, dude. Do you like the natural taste of your blood, you fucking douche?" Dude, I hope that's what it was. I hope an old woman heard some kid say, actually, apples are very healthy and nutritious for you, and they have natural sugars rather than the fake sugars in most chocolate bars. And this old woman lived by herself, just heard some kid say that one Halloween. It was like, fuck this kid. Fuck this kid so hard, I hate him. Fuck this kid so much that I'm going to go buy razor blades right now and fuck up his face with an apple. That's what it was, man. That's what it was. The kid was so nerdy that she was like, "I gotta break his face." Kid was so nerdy that she was like, "I gotta make sure this kid bleeds the next time he trick-or-treats here. I gotta make sure. I gotta see him bleed." Every year, this one kid would come up and go, "Thanks for the apple, miss." And he would bite into it. And she'd be like, "Oh, fuck you, dude. Fuck you." And then one year she was like, "Dude, I'm putting razor blades in it." Kid bites an apple every time. She would set out an apple just as a test to see if kids were cool or not. She would give fruit, and then if the kids who didn't take it, she'd be like, "You're dope, dude." And she got fucking mad. She got mad at Steven, the one kid who took the apple. The one kid who took the apple every time and was like, was that kid. Steven was I'm healthy. He was using his good decisions. He was holding his good decisions over his friends' heads. And that old woman fucking hated him for it. And so she devised a plan. She said, "I'm going to buy razor blades. I'm going to put it in the apple. And I'm going to watch this kid bleed. And I'm going to end up in the New York Times." And that's what happened, dude. I don't know if that's what actually happened, but that's what happened. Fucking Steven came up. She was like, "I can't wait for him to bite this apple." She goes, "Here's the apple." He goes, "The natural sugars." And then he bit into it and he went, and as he cried and his mouth opened, just blood pouring out of his face. And this old woman was like, "That's what you get for being a nerd." No, she didn't. She wasn't high pitched. She was alpha, bro. That's an alpha move. That's an alpha move. Okay? I don't know if decorating an apartment is alpha, but putting razor blades in an apple to make a little kid's mouth bleed, that's alpha as fuck, dude. That old lady was an alpha motherfucker. Oh, shit. There's nothing more alpha than making a kid bleed from razor blades that he ate in an apple on Halloween. I don't know. That's unfortunate. I feel bad for the kid who fucked up his mouth. I hope he didn't die. I hope there was no permanent damage. But at the same time, don't eat an apple on Halloween. That's the real lesson here. The real lesson is don't eat fruit on a day where you're supposed to eat candy. Don't do it. Don't do it. It's on you. If you're eating fruit, if you're eating a cantaloupe instead of a Kit Kat on Halloween, you kind of deserve to have your mouth bloody. You kind of, come on. Like, also, you didn't see the slits? It's not like she fucking, what did she put the razor blades in and then fill the holes with apple? Like, how do you not see? I know it's dark out on Halloween, but you can't see the fucking entrance points of the razor blades? Come on, man. Come on. If you're that feverishly grabbing an apple to eat it without inspecting it, what the fuck are you doing? Also, it was weird because parents would go, make sure if you get fruit or something, there's no razor blades in it. They wouldn't say, hey, just don't eat any fruit. They would say, make sure you inspect it for no razor blades. What the fuck? No, make sure you just don't eat the fruit. I'm not going to bite into an apple on the off chance that this person was sick as fuck at concealing them, at hiding them. Maybe the person reupholstered the apple. I don't know. Maybe the person is sick as fuck at hiding razor blades in the apple. Just don't bite into it, dude. Anyway, I wonder if there were like instances of razor blades in like Snickers or something, like razor blades in candy bars. That'd be fucked. Anyway, fuck. 4 minutes in this part. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to stop the camera now, and we're going to do one more part. I'm going to tell a nice little fucking story that I probably should have just told in the beginning. I should really tell the stories that I think might be, you know what? Fuck it. Sometimes I come into this podcast and I'm like, well, this is a good story. I'll save it for the end. But then I'm like, well, shouldn't I say it in the beginning to fucking hook people into the podcast? But whatever, dude. Everything I say is nonsense. Well, I'll save the stories for the end. Whatever. Once I start recording this thing, I have no idea what the fuck I'm going to say. So maybe next time I'll tell a big story at the top. But also I like having a good story at the end because, I'm glad people made it this fucking far. I don't know why I'm talking about my fucking logic for this podcast right now. Anyway, I'm just going to fucking tell the story. I'll be back in a sec. What's up? I'm back. And also, check this out. That's a pen that was in my pocket that fell through the hole in my pocket, and I just pulled it out of the bottom of my pants. There you go. There you go. Time to buy new pants. When you're pulling fucking pens that were in your pocket out from the bottom of your pants, you got to get new ones, dude. When you're pulling a fucking pen out of your ankle because there's a hole in your pocket, it's time to buy new jeans. Anyway. Okay. So there was so recently I moved into a new apartment, and the way my apartment is set up is that it's the bathroom window. There's a bathroom window, and there's a kitchen window and a living room window. And the living room window is here, the kitchen window is here, and the bathroom is over here, and the bathroom window is here. So all these windows are facing each other. And all these windows are facing other apartments, and it's the enclosed part of the apartment building. Do you understand what I'm saying? And usually these apartment buildings have cages at the top of them. Like on the roof, there's a cage so that nothing can get into the center of the apartment building and on people's windowsills. Mainly, it's to keep birds from fucking coming into, like, being on the windowsills. Also, like, all the trash is at the bottom of the building. So it's to prevent fucking birds from coming in and shitting on the trash or eating trash. I would assume it's to keep birds out. Anyway, there's no cage at the roof of my building. There's nothing preventing animals from crawling in or flying in. So on my windowsill, when we first moved in, there was a bird's nest, and there was a mama bird who laid 2 eggs. And so for a while, we'd be taking shits, me and my roommate, and this pigeon I think it was a pigeon, would just stare at us while we were shitting, and she would just stare at us as she was chilling on top of her eggs, waiting for them to hatch. Some time goes by. I don't know. I've been there 2 months, so I don't know how long it takes for birds to hatch, but they hatched. They hatched, then all of a sudden I'm seeing 2 birds chilling with this mama pigeon on the windowsill. And my roommate apparently saw the mama pigeon baby bird them, where she chews shit up and then spits it in their throats, which he saw, thought it was interesting. I'm glad I didn't see it. In fact, I was like, once I saw those babies born, I was like, I better not see some baby bird shit. Don't want to see that. I don't want to see a mom regurgitate her food into her kid's mouth. Don't want to see it. I think that's what happens, right? She chews it and shoots it in their mouth. I think something like that. I don't know. I didn't see it, thank God. Anyway, so we're putting in our air conditioner. Or he's putting in the air. He puts in the air conditioner in our living room. It's this big fat air conditioner. I'm grateful that he has it, because it's big enough where it fills up the whole living room and kitchen, and it makes the apartment not a sweltering hellhole. But he puts it in. But he put it in by himself. So I mean, I can't even believe he put it in by himself. That's quite a lift. It's a heavy ass. It's a heavy ass air conditioner. I'm surprised it didn't fucking. I have a tiny air conditioner, and I was like, "Yo, can you help me with this? Because just in case, I don't want it to fall." But he got it in there, and then he turns it on, and then he knocks on my door. He's like, "Oh, dude, I got the air conditioner, and I also got my TV." So I was like, "Oh, dope." So then I go outside, and I'm looking at it, and in my last building, there were roaches that would climb in through the window. At least I assumed that, because one time I was on the roof and these roaches were climbing up the side of the building, and then I saw them. I was like, oh shit. And then a couple times there was a big roach in my room, and I was like, oh, it must have crawled in through the window. That's what I assume. I don't know. I don't know the comings and goings of roaches. So the way the air conditioner was, it was at an angle, so I was worried like, fuck. It was at an angle so that there were like clear openings on either side. And I was like, shit, I don't want like roaches to come in, because already there's like some fruit bugs or something. There's some little bugs flying in from cracks in the windows, I guess, and they're pissing me off. Anyway, well, not even cracks. I didn't have a fucking screen on my window, and a fucking ton of them were just like gnats were just in my fucking room. I had to massacre them, dude. It was a full gnat genocide in my room. Had to do it, dude. If a bug comes in your room, you kill it. If a bug is inside where you live, it's your territory. You get to squash it. If a bug's outside, I leave it be. If it's indoors, squash it. Okay? There are rules to bug murder. I know I said normalize bug love on one of these podcasts, and I think that's true, dude. Don't hate your fucking bug neighbor, but at the same time, if your bug neighbor is in your home, you gotta fucking take him out. Anyway, so I'm worried about the way it's angled. So I go, oh, let's just fix it just in case. And he's like, oh, I just put it in. It was kind of annoying. And I was like, oh, let's just fix it just in case. I'll help you. He goes, all right. So we adjust it. And then as we adjust it, we open the window and a bird flies in. And now he starts laughing. And because it is funny, but at the same time, I'm not laughing because I'm holding the air conditioner. I'm holding this giant fucking air conditioner in the window as the bird flies in. And he just dodges the bird and starts cracking up. And I'm holding the thing. And then he's like, where's the bird? And I watch the bird fly into my room. Which it is funny, but in the moment, I was like, I don't want to drop this thing. God damn it. Why does the bird have to go into my fucking room? Also, I'm thinking about every fucked up thing my parents have ever said about, like, birds have a lot of disease. Don't touch a fucking bird. You're going to die if you touch a bird. Swine flu, dude. That's from a pig. But still, there was the bird flu. Remember that? Don't go near birds. Right? Also, we're in a pandemic, COVID. Who knows, dude? Somebody eats a bat, then all of a sudden we're all fucking dead. At one point there was a bird flu. Who knows? Maybe I'm gonna start COVID fucking 20, dude. I don't know. I don't want to grab this bird and be the reason why a bunch of old people die. So all that's going through my mind as I'm holding this heavy fucking air conditioner going like, hey, like we need to, and then I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say to him of like, wait, we got to put this in and then get the bird, or if we should get the bird. Anyway, as that's happening, another bird tries to fly into the window. And I'm like, fuck. And I like move in a way. I don't stop the thing, but I like twitch in a way where the bird gets confused, I think. And it like hits the window and flies back out. Now, I don't know if I prevented it or if I just freaked out and the bird is already fucking stupid as fuck and it just hit the window. But the bird did not get in. The second bird didn't get in. The first bird's still in my room figuring things out. So I was like, yo, dude, another bird just almost flew in. We got to fucking finish putting this in. So we finished putting the air conditioner. It's all good. It looks good. Then I'm on the mission to get this bird. So I go into my room. He's like, where's the bird? I was like, it's fucking right near the window. And I go over and it's like near the window in between this giant pole that goes through my fucking room. And like shit that I have. Like he's like in between a shelf and the pole. And so I grab a paper towel and I'm trying to grab the thing with a paper towel. Because, you know, and it's not even a real paper towel because we're trying to be good for the environment. We bought like vegan fucking brown, shitty, hurt your fingers paper towels. Barely any protection between you and the thing you're touching, paper towels. So it's not going to do anything. If this bird has any sort of a disease, I'm going to get it whether I use a paper towel or not. But that little bit of layer of paper makes me feel safer, okay? Also, it's like very much what my parents would do. That's a very parent move of like, hey, birds will give you diseases. You will die if you touch a bird. But then if a bird came in the house, your mom or dad would be like, all right, I got a paper towel. I'm going to grab it. Anyway, so I'm chasing this bird around and I keep trying to get a grasp on it. But like every time you grab the bird, I don't know, like I don't want to crush it. I'm afraid of crushing it. So I'm grabbing it so gently that it keeps just slipping through my hands. And every time I go to grab it, it flies. And I start to realize like, oh, this bird's very tiny. And then I start to realize, and then it keeps flying and like hitting into shit. And it keeps like not flying above a certain height. Like it keeps flying like a foot up. Like it only gets like a foot into the air and then hits something and has to stop. Where I realize like, oh, this is the baby. This is one of the pigeon's baby birds. So my roommate was like, let me try and get it. And my roommate goes and grabs it. And he's like, can you take a picture of this? And it shows how different our minds are in this moment. Like, he's like, this is funny. I got this little bird in my hand. Can you take a picture? And I'm like, we need to get this thing out the fucking window. Because clearly his parents didn't tell him the probable, I mean, I know birds carry disease, but like, clearly his parents were nicer to him about fucking that information. His parents were clearly more rational about it, where they're like, yeah, dude, some birds carry disease, but you won't die from touching one. But my parents told me otherwise. So in this moment, he's like, can you get a picture? And I'm like, let's get it the fuck out. Anyway, I take the picture and then I take a video of him tossing the bird out the window. So I open the window up and I'm like, yo, get rid of that thing. And then he tosses it out the window. And then I shut the window. But as he tosses out the window, the thing doesn't like fly out of his hands. He tosses out the window and the thing just kind of drops. And then I don't know what happened after that because we just shut the window and walked away. But when I showed my friends the video, they were like, I think that bird's dead. And I was like, no, it's not. What do you mean? They're like, that bird dropped swiftly. And now I haven't seen that mama bird or her other birds since that moment. And I'm like, is the bird dead? Are they having like a fucking bird funeral on the sidewalk right now? Are they doing Is there an Office episode happening somewhere near my apartment building that I don't know about? Like what? What? I don't know. I don't think it died. I think listen, this bird, every time it flew up and then it would fall back, like every time it flew up and it hit the wall and then fell back down, it would catch itself falling back down. You know? It would do like a light Batman glide to the floor. So I'm sure when my roommate tossed him out the window, he did a light Batman glide to fucking not explode when he hit the ground. The bird's probably dead. It's probably dead. I don't know. And I'm not laughing because I think it's funny that a bird might be dead. I'm laughing because I'm uncomfortable because I fucking hope it's not dead. I hope that bird's fine. I didn't do any research into it because I didn't want to find out one way or the other. I didn't want to do some research and be like, hey, if you toss a baby bird, if you toss a couple week old bird out a window, is it gonna die? I didn't want the internet to go, absolutely, you fucking monster. But it might not. It might vindicate me. It might be like, no, the bird will Batman glide. Everyone knows birds Batman glide. Doesn't matter how old the bird is, it knows how to Batman glide. It might say that and vindicate me, but it's not. It's a 50-50 shot, and it's not, I don't know, it's not worth the information of knowing that we just fucking murdered this thing. It shouldn't have came in the apartment, dude. It shouldn't have. The real problem is my building should have fucking netting on the top of the goddamn building. That is the real root of the problem, is that there should be something on the building to make it so that birds don't go inside the building. Also, I was wondering, like, should we have called somebody to get the bird? Our fucking landlord was also on vacation. Also, like, or not our landlord, the super is on vacation. Also, like, what are we going to ask the super? I'm not going to bother the super with the fucking bird in my apartment. Maybe I'll ask now, like, hey, get some fucking metal wire to not let that happen again. So we don't have, like, a dead child bird on our hands. I'm sure it's fine. Put it this way. I didn't see the bird the next day on the pavement. So that's good. That's a good sign, right? That's good news, right? Right? Unless what happened was the bird hit the pavement and then fucking rats just tore it to pieces. And then the next day there's just no residue of it because fucking carnivorous rats just fucking ate its whole carcass. That could be what happened too. I don't know. I hope it didn't. It probably didn't. Yeah. Also, I was wondering if that bird can't. I don't know if the bird was limited in flight because of, like, the apartment. Like, I don't know if it was, like, afraid to fly too high because the apartment was so small. I don't know if this bird was shitting on the size of my apartment by not properly flying through it. Or if it was just too young to navigate the apartment correctly. But, I'm also worried about, like, how does it work with the bird if it's on the ground? Like, how does the mom find it? Like, does the mom just not know where the bird is now? They don't have fucking GPS, dude. They're not like humans with microchips in their children where they can track them. That's fucking nuts, by the way. If you put a microchip in your kid to track them, it's a little too far, okay? I understand you don't want your kid to be fucking kidnapped and molested. Rightfully so, dude. If I had a kid, I'd be petrified of him getting harmed in any way. But at the same time, I don't know if you should chip your kid. It's a little fucking weird. That seems like too big of a decision to be made for any age human being, you know? Also, you're already setting up a weird distrust with your child where, like, one day you're going to have to be like, yeah, you have a microchip in you because I didn't want to lose you. The kid's going to be like, what? The kid's going to be like, couldn't you have just kept track of me? I don't know. I guess it's probably saved some kids' lives, that microchip. But at the same time, what I'm saying is, and maybe I'm an advocate for the microchip in this moment because, you know, if I took, you know, if that baby bird was a kid I was throwing out the window, someone would know where the body was. What a stupid fucking joke. Anyway, I don't know. I hope the mom found the baby bird and they're all together and it's all fine. And I'm sure that's what happened. Okay. I'm sure I don't understand birds enough to know that they have some sort of echolocation where they can find their infant bird child immediately. I'm sure it's all fine. And I'm sure the bird can, is being taught to fly higher and they'll be on my windowsill again eventually, or they won't. Or maybe it's been such a traumatic event for those birds that they're like, hey, we need to find a new home pronto. Fuck that building. And they'll tell all their bird friends, like, yo, don't go to that building. If you end up accidentally in one of those rooms, if you end up accidentally going into one of those windows, they will toss you out another one, okay? They will almost murder your kid, so please do not go please do not go to that building ever again. Please avoid windows at all costs. Because they fucking killed my son. No, we didn't. We didn't kill the son. They're all fine. I'm sure they're all fine. But yeah. Anyway, I guess what I'm saying is if you are installing an air conditioner, look out for birds. That's what I'm saying. Watch out for birds because they might fly into your fucking apartment. Yeah, that's it for this week, guys. That's it. This is a nice long podcast. Or longer than usual, right? Yeah, I feel like I haven't done a podcast this long in a while. Or maybe I have. I don't know. I don't know what the fuck's happening. But yeah, this was a fun long one. As always, I had a great time. Like the podcast, share it, rate it, and review it on iTunes. Tell somebody about it. Do what you feel, man. Anyway, if you're listening right now, you're awesome. I fucking think you're great. I'm so thankful that anybody listens to this thing, even if it's a fucking tiny amount of people. It's a fucking fun, exclusive club, and I'm glad you listened if you did. Anyway, as always, I love you guys, and I'll see you next week.